Hello again, and thank you for staying with us. Now, Africans on the continent and in the diaspora are celebrating Africa Month. The continent is known for its rich and diverse cultural heritage, which manifests in arts, culture, fashion, cuisine, and natural resources. Many Africans have also made a name for themselves in the global stage through various accomplishments such as the African Genius Awards. We are now joined by the rector of the United Nations University in Japan and a former vice-chancellor and principal of the University of Johannesburg. Professor Marwala, it's a pleasure to have you on the program. And now you were named as one of the winners of this very prestigious awards. Firstly, give us a sense of your initial reaction. What does this award mean to you?
Maybe just to correct, my last name is Marwala, not Marwala.
Marwala. Sorry about that.
But Marwala is a perfect last name. Thank you very much for interviewing me. And of course, I learned when I was in Ghana, I just flew in from Ghana, that I have won that award. So I am obviously in a reflective mood because we have a lot of things that we need to do in the African continent.
Right.
We have an army of people that we need to educate. We have 1.3 billion people that we need to feed. We have disputes and conflicts, whether it is in the DRC, whether it is in Sudan, that we need to stop. We need to silence the guns once and once for all. And as I accept this award, I am also aware that there is quite a great deal that needs to be done for us to be able to achieve the sort of Africa that we deserve.
Now, in your opinion, what qualities or characteristics define an African genius, and how do we see these qualities reflected in some of your fellow nominees and their exceptional abilities in their respective fields here?
Well, obviously it's quite a privilege to be mentioned alongside Dr. Charles Mukwege, who obviously won a Nobel Prize and has been working very, very closely on the topic of protection of women. Very, very important. So it's really an honor to be sharing any form of a prize with people of that excellent caliber. But I also, take award like this, knowing very well that much of the work that might be attributed to me, I did it with research collaborators. I did it with excellent students whom I have taught, whom I have supervised. So this is not just me. It represents all those people who have contributed towards my contribution to science, to leadership, to the fourth industrial revolution in Africa, to artificial intelligence in the continent of Africa.
Now, Prof, the African Genius Awards also aim to recognize individuals who have made these outstanding contributions to African societies and also have positively impacted their communities or societies. How important is it to even honor and celebrate such individuals?
Well, it is important because it reinforces and encourages others to do a little bit more than they are required to do. So it's very important. In psychology, you have a theory of reinforcement. And the theory of reinforcement is actually based on two premises. One, punishment and reward. And of course, punishment is not the way to go. Disincentivizing perhaps is the best word. So I consider this as an incentive to do more. I consider it as a signal to other people that they should do more. In whatever you do, it is important for the ecosystem of our society, whether it is the political ecosystem, whether it is the economic ecosystem. All those ecosystems work by each and every one of us doing more than we are required to do.
Now, we recently celebrated Africa Day, which very interestingly also coincided with the announcement of the African Genius Awards. Can you shed some light on the significance of Africa Day in the context of these awards?
Well, I think Africa Day is very, very important. It is important, and I wrote an article on Daily Maverick just reflecting on how far we are towards the African Union's Agenda 2063. So it was important, but again I will go back and say that the Africa Day becomes meaningful when we leave no one behind, when we ensure that everybody in the African continent is educated, when we ensure that no one goes to bed hungry, when we ensure that no one feels threatened by violence, and they are protected, and social security is available to take care of those who cannot take care of themselves. I think that is the significance on Africa Day, and I would challenge people that during Africa Day, just pick one thing that you do for the African community. It might be going to a school and reading for young people, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Let us make it much more meaningful.
Professor Marwala, we are running out of time, but before I let you go, just wrapping up, I mean, the AGA also seeks to uplift African societies and inspire Africans to make these significant contributions to the development of the continent. How do you believe the African Genius Awards actually contribute to this goal and also inspiring hope among young Africans as well?
Well, it contributes towards this by highlighting people so that people can learn about them and learn from them and go out there and change society.
Well, congratulations once again, and my apologies. It would seem that the other surname is still embedded in many of our minds. That's Professor Tshilidzi Marwala, the rector of the United Nations University in Japan and former vice-chancellor and principal of the University of Johannesburg.